Hey everyone, how's it going today? And welcome back to another third stimulus check unemployment benefits extension update. So today's update is going to be a little bit interesting because today I really want to talk about this special unemployment program that's currently going on right now. Now this program is relatively under the radar right now, so it's maybe a great thing because now you can maybe hopefully try to find out before it becomes super mainstream. But it's basically about a special unemployment program that might apply to some of you guys that could potentially bump your unemployment boost to become a $400 unemployment. So in other words, it's going to potentially make it so you guys can now get a $400 bump now instead of the $300 bump. So not $300 plus $400, totaling $700, but I mean basically $300 plus an extra $100 to make it to become a $400 program. Now this is a program that's currently has already officially been approved, so that is the really great news. This is not a proposal, this is not part of the fourth stimulus. This is a program that's currently going on right now and has actually relatively just started. It technically was approved as part of the second stimulus package, and you might have actually remembered back then how we mentioned how there was a program that was going on, the $400 unemployment that was approved. However, the story is that at that current time period, a lot of states announced that they were going to be planning to do it, but that they were going to be releasing information for how to physically even get onto the program or when they were going to get ready to start to roll out the program. Although there was a little bit of an indefinite time gap, so that's why it kind of led to this 1 to 2 month gap, but of course also because of all of the other negotiations and things going on. The great news is that there's actually a lot of states that have now started to release information about this program in terms of basically who this program applies to, how to qualify for this program, how to physically get on this program, and basically all of the details about how this program currently works. But the great news is that now, because states have now officially just started to release their applications or open up the process for people to apply, it means that if you are watching this video somewhere, I guess within, I would even go to say honestly, within the first 1 to 2, maybe even 3 weeks from release date, it means that it's still relatively early. In fact, actually, a lot of states have actually started to announce that they're going to be doing this program, but only very select states have actually opened up the applications to be able to physically apply, to be able to get onto this program. So in today's update, I really just want to talk a lot more about the details about what this program is, how it works, who qualifies, and then I probably will try to make another future video about how to physically get onto the program. I just don't want to make this video particularly long, so maybe if you guys are potentially interested, especially if you do actually end up qualified for this program or want to try to become qualified for this program, maybe consider subscribing for that if you guys are brand new here, or also of course other finance topics that are hopefully going to be interesting and similar to this if you are on unemployment or looking for any kind of stimulus finance investing news or anything around that world. So we're going to get started right away, but maybe before we begin, as always, maybe consider smashing the like button in light of the fact it's great news that we're talking about a program that has officially been approved. And as always, feel free to comment any questions, thoughts, or honestly just really about anything at all. Always great to see familiar and new faces. So with that being said, let's get this video started. So what this program pretty much is that it's a program that's currently called the MEUC, or I believe that stands for the Mixed Earners Unemployment Compensation Program. It's specifically a program for anyone that might have more than one source of income, particularly if you are someone that's currently collecting any kind of traditional UI unemployment program, but you also happen to be self-employed. So where this really applies is that if you are someone that currently works a traditional job, or you happen to have gone onto the unemployment program because of some kind of regular W-2 job of some kind, but you also by chance happen to have a side hustle gig of some kind, and there's a lot of ways actually to really be able to stretch what that means. So examples of this could be any kind of side hustle, whether this means something like Uber, DoorDash, eBay, Etsy, Amazon, Shopify, or even especially a lot of freelance jobs. So for example, like freelance photography, service work, businesses, catering, many creative entertainment jobs, maybe babysitting, selling things, lemonade stands. Those are really popular ones. The general idea is that if you are someone that's currently on the traditional unemployment program, but maybe you used your traditional unemployment to be able to qualify and get onto the program that you're currently on, but you also maybe made a particular amount of money on self-employment income that was not factored into this, then there is a chance you can potentially be qualified for this program, because now by being able to account for your self-employment income, they maybe potentially will be able to bump that unemployment boost from $300 into $400. Now, I think it's really, really important to note, though, is that not every single state is going to be doing this program, but I believe that the overwhelming majority of them are. I think something they mentioned about 40-something states are going to be doing this program. So if you're from basically, I think almost every single major big state, they're pretty much going to be doing it. So that is the really, really great news. However, I believe only about 20-something states have actually physically started this program and opened up applications to actually be able to physically get onto the program. So in other words, about half of the states that are planning to do it have already actually just started the program. In many cases, actually within the last 1 to 2 weeks. And about the other half are actually planning to do it, but they're still waiting to release information. But this actually can be a really, really great thing, because it means that if you're watching this video, you're very, very likely still pretty early, which is a great thing. So you can at least hopefully get a little bit of a head start to maybe potentially get on this. And I think it's also important to notice is that this program is going to be retroactive. So the really, really great news is that even if you end up having to do this program later on, as long as you qualify, I think the dollar amount that you will get, the extra amount of money, it will likely still all end up the same. It's really just about timing when you're going to be able to physically get it. Now, in terms of who specifically qualifies for this program, so this pretty much comes directly from the people that actually introduced the Mixed Earners Compensation Program. So this is from basically the official website of the people that manage this program. But in order to get onto this program, the 3 qualifications you really have to meet is that the first one is that you have to have been someone that have been collecting at least $1 or more per week on traditional unemployment, any kind of traditional unemployment program. So this could be anything from like traditional unemployment, UI, FED, EB, PEUC, essentially basically every single kind of program except the PUA. So that is one thing about it, is that basically if you are any kind of program except the PUA, then you could potentially qualify, at least certainly based off this first requirement. Now, there are currently talks about trying to maybe extend it to open it up to PUA people as well, but at this current time, it's pretty much only going to apply to traditional unemployment. The second requirement is that you have to have been someone that has made at least $5,000 or more on self-employment income in your most recent tax return. So essentially for most of you guys, probably either 2019 or 2020. I do believe you can choose though. I do believe, but I'll probably have to confirm that later. But the general idea is that if you happen to be someone that has worked a traditional job, and then maybe you also happen to have a side hustle of some kind, so as mentioned is, anything like Uber, DoorDash, anything that I think you would normally use to collect a 1099, and you made at least $5,000 or more on that self-employment job, and the great news is you should be qualified. And then also, of course, the final qualification is that you simply have to just be from a state that's actually doing the program. And I think it's specifically stated, I think almost every single state except Idaho and South Dakota are planning to do it. So that is the really, really, really great news. And I'm pretty sure the majority of you guys should hopefully at least be from a state that is doing this program. Now, in terms of how to actually physically be able to get onto this program, so I think the story right now is that every single state has kind of their own specific individual procedure. However, there's a lot of overlaps between the procedures that every single state is doing. I probably will maybe try to make a future video really diving in deep about how to actually physically get on it, just because I don't want to make this video super, super ultra long, especially because there's an in-depth procedure. But if you're looking for any kind of immediate information right now, probably the best place to really look is to look into trying to maybe Google up your state and then type in the letters or the words MEUC next to it, or Mixed Earners Unemployment Compensation. So for example, if maybe you happen to be from Pennsylvania, type in Pennsylvania MEUC, or Pennsylvania Mixed Earners Unemployment Compensation, and likely you should be able to find information on it. I would also say the second place, if you're looking for information, is to possibly, when you log in to your unemployment programs portal, so specifically it's the portal or the place that you use to claim your unemployment, to certify your unemployment every single week. Try to maybe log into your portal, and if the application is ready, if it is ready, in a lot of times in one of the tabs, and it's a little bit hard to say because every state, of course, the UI and the interface is going to look a little bit different. But I know for a fact in New York, actually, especially in New York, if you go to one of the tabs that has like all of the applications or forms, you might be able to even find the application. And in fact, I actually only found out that they actually started the program because I actually saw, interestingly enough, the application in my portal actually, and I'm from New York. So I can definitely confirm that New York has now officially started to roll out the program. And if you end up Googling it up and you end up glancing at your unemployment program portal and you don't find any kind of information, then the very likelihood is that it probably means that it's very likely that your state has not released information about it yet. But the great news is at least you're early. So at least you're not like, you haven't been lagged behind or anything like that. And I believe actually only about 20 something states have started to physically roll out their program. So there's still about another 20 that have committed to doing it, but they're still just waiting for information. But beyond that, that's pretty much just what I really wanted to share in today's update. So hopefully a relatively insightful one. Maybe consider smashing the like button if you guys haven't done so already and relatively found that insightful. And as always, feel free to comment any questions, thoughts about anything at all. I think maybe one of the future videos will probably be much more about the procedure, much more in depth. So maybe consider subscribing for that, and also other very similar videos like this. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, stay safe, stay well, and hope to see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much again.